After everybody joked that Lifeline would be useless in Season 13, after everybody feared Lifeline mains would quit the game forever, after everybody, even myself, mentioned Newcastle would make Lifeline's pick rate basically go to rock bottom, something quite surprising has happened. Newcastle's pick rate has fallen, and Lifeline's pick rate has continued to rise. So much so, in fact, that Lifeline is now picked even more than Newcastle. She is, as of this moment, more popular than Newcastle is. So what went wrong? Were we all really that wrong with our predictions about Newcastle and Lifeline? Well, the topic is actually quite complex. First, we need to talk about why Newcastle isn't really that highly picked, and then later in the video, once I've explained this problem, we can talk about the surprising resurgence of Lifeline's pick rate. So what really went wrong with Newcastle? Well, firstly, I think we need to consider whether or not he was actually a failure. Newcastle's pick rate is sitting at 4.1% right now, which is just a little under average for a legend. The bad news is the pick rate is still going down, but the good news is that it does seem to be leveling out a bit, and I predict his pick rate will sit somewhere around 2 to 3%. So he's not the worst legend in the game like Maggie as far as pick rate is concerned, but he's definitely not the best. Ultimately, when it comes to pick rate, as more legends are added, more people get comfortable with a main that truly suits them. So really, it does make sense why so many legends are releasing with increasingly lower pick rates. The only legends that have escaped this problem and actually made a name for themselves are movement legends, Horizon and Valkyrie. Ashe is close behind too, but ultimately she has some form of movement too, and her abilities are actually really strong in pro level play. Newcastle does have some movement, but I think the fun he offers isn't quite of the level of any other true movement focused legend. Sometimes even movement isn't enough either. Mad Maggie is the least picked legend in the game right now, probably because her abilities are just too unreadable and hard to master. There's not a skill curve for her ultimate, but it just lands wherever it wants based on RNG. Ultimately, the simpler and more fun a legend can be, the higher their pick rate will be. Their ability to perform well in pro level and high level play does impact that a bit as well, but not as much as just how fun a legend is, honestly. It makes sense why Octane with his press X to go fast button is so successful. Newcastle probably has a decent chance to fit somewhere into the meta, unlike Maggie, but he's definitely not a mainstay, and only time will tell at this point if pro players adopt him. Good news is he does actually have some decent utility, unlike Mad Maggie. Mad Maggie shares a public pick rate with Crypto. Right now it's just a tiny bit lower than Crypto's, but the difference between Maggie and Crypto is Crypto has good utility. You can see that because he was picked quite a lot in the recent ALGS Pro playoffs, the grand finals. Newcastle has a lot of potential, so there could be the chance that he is picked somewhat in high level play or ALGS, maybe as an off meta pick. But it's quite clear, honestly, why his hub pick rate is so low. He's just not that fun, and he has too many intricacies that make his kit too focused on using his abilities as opposed to just playing the game, which is another kind of problem we've seen with legends like Rampart, who has way too many intricacies to make her fun. Personally, I find that fun, but a lot of people don't. So, we've talked about Newcastle, but what about Lifeline? Newcastle's pick rate dropping makes sense, but why is Lifeline's pick rate going back up? Is it really the case that people are leaving Newcastle to play Lifeline because Lifeline is the better support, or is there something else going on? Well, I think it's quite an interesting topic to talk about, and we will talk about it today. Oh dear, right, let's get back down there real quick. Okay, no problem. It really starts with understanding what it actually means to have a high pick rate in this game. Talked a lot about it in a recent video. I definitely suggest checking that out first if you don't know anything about why legends are picked over others. But there are essentially two major factors that impact a legend's pick rate. If you consider their viability, their fun, their ease of use, there are two major factors. The experienced players who play tons of games, and then the huge numbers of new players who are forced to play a limited selection of legends because they just don't have that many legends unlocked. In Lifeline's case, she is a legend that is available for everyone. So the chance that somebody has the option to play Lifeline is far higher than the chance that they can play Newcastle. So it makes a lot of sense off the bat why her pick rate is actually a lot higher than, you know, people would suspect. Because her skill level, her abilities, her power in game does not reflect her pick rate, right? But what about all of the players that are playing the games tons, right? The experienced players, the long-term players, the players that play for hours every single day. These players have more of a weight on the player pick rate than anything else, simply because they play thousands of games per season, right? For example, if one player plays 1,000 games of Wraith, all of these pick rate charts will consider that 1,000 games as Wraith. If 1,000 players that are new play one game as Wraith, one game as Lifeline, it would take 1,000 new players who just play like one game per season to equal the same as like a super hardcore player, right? So the pick rates are kind of heavily weighted towards experienced players, and that's why it's a good way to look at the pick rates and just say, okay, this legend's played the most. That means the most experienced players are putting in the most number of games are playing this legend a lot. That's why Pathfinder, Bloodhound, Wraith, Octane, Valkyrie, Horizon are very high in pick rate, and other legends aren't. But the other thing is that because there are just so many new players and inexperienced players trying the game, they could actually outweigh the number of games that really hardcore players play, right? Perhaps there's like a few thousand people that play one legend tons in comparison to the millions that play a legend a couple times per week, right? They have an actual really quite powerful weight on the play rate of legends, and you can actually see that in the fact that the most played legends almost entirely consist of the legends that are free, right? The legend that you get when you first start the game, and Lifeline is amongst those. So how can we determine whether, oh, I literally thought that was a player, a legend is popular because they are better than others, or a legend is popular because they are a good legend? Like, obviously Wraith's good. She has a 10% pick rate. A lot of experienced players play her. But how many actually play her that aren't new to the game and just trying to play her just because she's the only legend that can be played? Well, what we can do is actually look at the play rate by rank. And what we'll see in Lifeline's case is something very interesting. Her pick rate goes down drastically as the rank of the player goes up. So as people are learning the game more and realizing the value of each legend, let's get in this building real quick. There's a lot of people around. Oh, there it is. Yeah, we're about to be in a bit of a tricky situation. Out. Yeah, Lifeline plays that story. A good example of that in the opposite spectrum is Horizon. Has a very low pick rate for people in the lower tiers of ranks and a very high pick rate for higher tiers of ranks. So that's a great example of a legend that isn't free for everyone, but has a lot of power, and a lot of pro experienced players are realizing that, right? Lifeline says the exact opposite story, which simply means while she is a popular pick amongst new players, perhaps because she seems kind of fun, she's not, you know, big and clunky like Gibraltar, she's not too hard to get the hang of like Pathfinder. You know, the grapple's quite hard to use actually. As soon as people start to learn the game, they start, they stop playing. They stop playing Lifeline. And that's as simple as she's just not that good. Simple as she's just not that good. The stats are right there they showcase that Lifeline only has high pick rate amongst new players. And that's probably why there's quite a fun little meme about the fact that Lifeline players just stand there, never actually res you when it's as easy as pressing a button, because the majority of Lifeline players are actually low level. They're inexperienced. So yeah, go easy on those Lifeline players, because they're probably not actually that experienced. The chances of a Lifeline player that has other characters unlocked actually playing Lifeline is very low. You know, which leads me on to my next point, or my next talking piece, I suppose. Was, you know, we've just shown that Lifeline's pick rate is primarily like high because of low experienced players, new players who just cannot play any other legend, do not understand the power of legends. They go for Lifeline for whatever reason, and then as they learn more, they leave Lifeline. That means Lifeline definitely needs a buff, right? At least in terms of high level play. She does well, it looks like, in low level play. But once people understand the mechanics, she just doesn't really offer that much. I think that my talking points before about Lifeline getting a buff still apply. I think that, like I said before, Lifeline deserves some kind of change to her ultimate. I don't know why she still has a loot ultimate in a season where loot is no longer such an RNG problem. I never find my care package that useful unless I, like, oh my god, want something really specific, like a 4 to 10 times digital scope. Then it's kind of useful. Any other instance, it's just not really worth it. So I would love to see Lifeline players get an ultimate that allows you to cool down a respawn beacon, right? Or a way to get players back into the game easier. I think that would be really nice, and that would give her a lot of power. And not only a lot of power, a lot of unique power that is not weighted by how useful loot is, how easy it is to loot, right? Because that's something that evolves over time. I don't think having a... Oh, okay, that charge rifle player is really having a lot of fun. I think that her passive is actually in a good spot, really. Like, it's useful. It doesn't really need to be changed that much. Her tactical is pretty alright. It blends well with her passive. She just needs a new ultimate, in my opinion. I think that's all she really needs. Because if you buff her too much, then you really do have the problem that if not that many people are playing Newcastle, even high-level play, then not that many people are gonna... Where is this charge rifle player? Over there. Not that many people are gonna play him. You know? Because Lifeline would actually be better in that case. Really need like a 3x or something. So I guess in summary, all I really want to say is Lifeline could do with a buff, but not that much of a buff. It needs to be a buff that focuses on providing power to sort of the experienced players in the game. Just gotta get closer, you know. Ow. Ow. What do you think? What could be a good buff for Lifeline? It doesn't make her super powerful in low level, but only high level. And for Newcastle, well, I think it's too early to say. People haven't really ranked up that much yet to be able to determine, like, whether or not he's a good legend or not. You cannot do the same thing with Newcastle that we do with Horizon and say, well, there's a clear indicator that high-level players are doing very well with Newcastle and enjoying playing him. Not yet. So it's too early to ask for a Newcastle buff, really. That was the best aim in the world. Oh, actually, okay, let's not expect that. Do you have a 3x by any chance? There's got to be one in the area. Yes, there is. Okay, brilliant. Let's get a couple more grenades, or one. One grenade, rather. On the bridge. Most ridiculous gun in existence. Finally got Charge Rifle Dave out of the picture. Love it. Finally. We can now live in peace and harmony on this server. There's no more Charge Rifle Daves. Well, I hope so. Alright, let's Loba out of the picture. Let's see who's on the bridge here. Oh, he's somewhere. Let's Gotta get an angle on it. Not really seeing it. Alright. We've got 3 squads left. It's nice. Ah, you know what? A golden mag. That's an alright upgrade. The power of the ult is there. It's just very small. Getting a golden magazine is quite nice. We can stick that on the Spitfire and just always have it reloaded when it's in our backpack. Like, you know, that's not bad. Because it does have Evo loot. Like, the loot that you get is based on the loot that you currently have. If you have entirely gold stuff like right now, we actually get some quite nice stuff out of her ultimate. So, I don't know. That's interesting. Is that value oh, there people are here. Really worth keeping there. Like, it's small. It's on ultimate. Ultimates are supposed to be like pretty powerful things. You know what I mean? It's literally just opened. I don't think the power it provides is the kind of power that an ultimate should provide, especially with the cooldown it has as well. Okay, it's seeming pretty quiet. Okay. Oh! Hi.
Making contact with enemy.
Have a friend?
Enemy down.
There's a thing there if you need it.
Recharging my shields.
I literally said that just as Lifeline did. There's another care package over there. Oh, it's a scout. I actually think that the Spitfire is just ridiculous. The hipfire on it's crazy. I think I'm going to make a video about that actually. Where is that care package? I've never seen a care package there. I don't... Wait, what? Is that a place that actually exists in the map? Hello? Hold up. Wait a minute. That's the new... I've never really even been here before. I've played this game a lot, and I've never been here. I think it was actually added fairly recently, maybe in Season 12. But it seems so weird to see it here. What season was it added, actually? Season 10? Look at that! I've never... This is just so weird. In fact, a care package lands there as well. Well, that's a shame.
Knockdown shield here.
Nothing great.
Level 4.
Final squad, actually. We can find them. We can find them. Where could they be? They gotta be somewhere, Octane. Where are they? Another care package. Alright, well, we'll go back there then. Probably in Capital City. Most likely. Chances they're anywhere else pretty low, but if I can get a Kraber for the end game, I think that would be pretty fun. You know? So I'm gonna try it. Maybe they'll see me flying through the sky and actually come and find us. Yeah, going down. I'm still not seeing them anywhere here. Interesting spot for a care package. Crazy how much this map's changed. Like, I would say this map's received the most amount of change. We're not talking about POIs here, but I mean just general, like, rotational changes. This map's received a lot. It really has. It really has. Oh, no. What happened? You died to the ring? Oh, there's someone here. Oh dear. I have a Oh, we're dead. Oh, we're dead. Okay, well, that's unfortunate. Wait. The god spot. Why am I not taking damage? No. No. Why am I not taking damage? I have gold and everything, dude.
Good. Just a scrape. Shut out. Enemy shields broke.
Grenades! I don't care about grenades! I can't! Oh my god. What is this spot? This feels incredibly illegal. No! Not like this, dude.
Just give me.
Aww. Alright everyone, thanks so much for watching. What do you think about this? Lifeline having a higher pick rate than Newcastle, but not actually being better than Newcastle? What does it all mean? I don't know. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the comments. Cheerio.